Welcome back to the Fire Emblem Awakening playthrough. Last time, the unthinkable happened. And because of that, I'm not immediately going to go on to the next chapter. I didn't unlock any supports in that last chapter. Well, I guess that's kind of fitting. If I had, I would have done them here, because doing any supports, especially the more comedic ones, before this chapter right here, would really kill the mood of what's about to happen. Now, speaking of killing the mood, right after completing that chapter, we unlock what is possibly the single most inappropriately timed side quest of all time. Seriously, not even Xenoblade Chronicles side quest Art of Mechonis Core compares to this. This is the one side quest in this whole game I'm actually not going to do the moment it's available. Well, the one standard side quest that I'm not going to do the moment it's available. Because doing it now, not only is it just downright disrespectful to what just happened, but it actually creates ginormous gaping plot holes. Seriously, the way the plot works leading up to the next chapter simply does not make sense if you do this chapter first. It just doesn't. So, I'm gonna put this off for now, but I will be doing this one after the next chapter, chapter 10. Oh, that merchant has a rapier. Kind of fitting. Guess Chrom might need something like that after... Well, fitting for Chrom to get another weapon after what just happened. Let's just see if I can take these guys on at this point, because... Okay, the merchant's very close to us from the start. Level 10, 10, 12, 15, 10, 12, and enemies behind us that are 12. Okay, I think I might be able to do this chapter. It's not exactly all that. That fighter has a lot of HP, really, wow. Might be good for grinding some supports and at least a little bit of experience. Does anyone even need experience, though? Because we're around level 11 to 12 at this point, which is what Chrom's at. 10, that doesn't count. He's essentially 17, not 2. 10, you're both 12, you're 11. Aparna Gaius might need a little bit more. Tharia and Kellum are pretty much fine as it is. Ricken and Maribel might need a little more, and Vake and Cordelia... Actually, Virion needs a lot more, so... I think I might do this only because I want to save that merchant. And let's just see. I mean, Liz is already over-leveled enough as it is. You know what? Okay, firstly, get rid of the log. And might as well get rid of that. And might as well get rid of those two. Hey, that's kind of funny. Oh, really? No, we obtained both of the weapons that I was calling pathetic in the last chapter. Anyway. That's probably fine. Definitely don't want Star and Sully or these two. I might want to try and get a support between her and Libra, so I may use her. Aparna Gaius are in, and that's just enough for Ricken and Maribel. Okay. You know, I just realized how fitting it is that we're clearing the Risen out of Emrin's castle, and, yeah, restoring the peace of this place after, well, what just happened. Okay, you're fine, you're fine. You know, I don't actually need Chrom. Chrom should probably sit this one out, actually, now that I think about it. And I can put Virion in. And with that... You know what? I really don't like this music after all that. Where's the music? Might as well put that on. Anyway, I'm gonna clear the Risen out of these long empty hallways, so I'll just cut this out. Let's make this castle our home again. Just quickly to show this off, Blessed Bow versus Revenants. Haven't actually shown that yet. Yeah, extremely effective. Wow, I didn't realize, I've never seen this quote from Rickend before. Okay, I know this is kind of a mood clash given the general tone of this video, but I had never seen this quote before. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool, yeah. My headcanon is cooking that for Maribel. So here's where glass weapons can actually be sort of useful. One shot with this is all I need. So the low uses aren't exactly a problem. There we go. None of the other swords would have done it, but that was enough for a boss kill, so that's where glass swords can kind of come in handy. And movement +1, nice. And another steel sword that I don't need. Okay, so merchant saved, and we get Speedwing. That's actually pretty good. I mostly did it though so I could buy that rapier, because you don't actually see those very often. And arm scroll is actually not bad either.
Oh, come on in.
Okay, who got those bullions? You have one. Okay, I was just thinking about Muriel's quote there. That's actually kind of clever. And I think that is all the bullions that I have. So, firstly, I'm gonna get Crom a new rapier because, again, shops don't sell those kind of often. Oh, Mary Sue! Oh no. Yes, Mary Sue thinks Crom probably needs several very, very perverted things, but I think he needs a rapier. And that arm scroll is useful for when people change into a new class and have a really low rank in their new weapon type. But I don't know if I need one, just although I have a bit of a surplus of gold, although I want to save that for... And we're getting a lot of new weapons like that killer bow and stuff from enemies, and we do have a lot more silver lances and steel things than we need, so we're kind of set for weapons for a while, but I do... Okay, you know what? I'm going to cave. I'm going to buy that arm scroll. I might need that someday. Gonna leave the Master Seal, though. Because, again, the game pretty much hands those out like candy at this point. And we have, speaking of candy, support there. And, yeah, we got lots of supports. So, yeah, I'm glad that I got those supports out of the way there so we can begin to build up supports there, because I just want to take care of the supports now. Firstly, Muriel and Libras C.
Humblest thanks.
No, he's not saying Thunderation. Well, I mean, that actually is pretty appropriate considering the last chapter.
Yes.
May the gods bless us. Enlighten me. Really?
Yeah, totally not stalking.
Indeed. Have faith.
Again, this conversation definitely makes sense after that last chapter.
Now then. Yes? Yes.
This is actually kind of interesting, yeah. Which is why I sort of like these supports.
No. What?
So he's now been roped into a scientific experiment involving how many people you can successfully preach to at once. Interesting, but the thing is, like, Libra's a really interesting character. I actually quite like him as a character, mainly because these days it's very rare to see a priest character who's genuinely nice and doesn't have any ulterior motives, like who isn't creepy or evil. And I just think it's just really refreshing to actually see, again, a genuinely nice priest in fiction, because it's just so rare that you actually see that. Like, pretty much every priest nowadays is evil. Anyway, though. Aparna Gaius, then. We're getting quite a few A-rank supports, so we're getting pretty close to a lot of our pairings. Of course, he's still obsessing over the candy tree.
The Togwell do not play.
By the way, that's actually one of her critical lines. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Please.
I like that.
Right.
Huh?
Isn't that obvious? Look at those ears.
Yes.
Nice.
Gaius is wondering how that could help him on a criminal, thing, isn't he? You know, this really reminds me of Athena Sykes from Ace Attorney Dual Destinies for some reason.
Right.
I still don't know how he didn't figure out that Togwell have good hearing. I mean, I thought that would be obvious.
Nope.
Yeah, well, I guess he's finally turning around. He doesn't
Well.
just want what candy trees this time. So, another A support, and speaking of A supports, we have one more, and I really, really like this one. I'm pretty sure this is one. I'll say.
Right.
Obviously, considering what just happened. Again, this is making sense from the last battle.
Really?
No.
So they're both conceding their faults to each other.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure whether she wants to know whenever he gets a scratch so that she can heal him, or so that she can destroy everything, because she seems to be the kind of person who would do that. Well, I mean, Rickon actually doesn't suffer too many terrible injuries. I mean, his defense is abnormally high for a mage.
We fight together.
My gratitude.
I just love these two together, seriously. I just really like their supports. Probably one of my favorite pairings in the game. I know that, I admit that Muriel and Gaius have an interesting history, but it's more that I literally can't really see anyone else for Rickon at this point, really, because I just love this pairing so much. Anyway, that's basically all we can do at this point, apart from that, but it's still too early for doing that. And right then, we put this off as long as we can. Now, as you can probably tell by this, I'm pretty sure I'm going to make this a half part, that we're not going to be heading on to the next chapter just yet. And that's because I want to tell you something. This next chapter is, to me, hands down, one of the most powerful moments in Fire Emblem history. And it's not the least because of the music. The music that plays in this chapter, most of you watching this probably already know, but if you don't, oh boy, you are in for something amazing. This next chapter is just so phenomenal that... Okay, now, I know this is going to sound weird, and this is a commentary playthrough, and I do have a lot to talk about as far as the next chapter gameplay-wise, but I really don't want to cheapen the atmosphere of the next chapter at all. And I feel like talking really would, so I just want to say something. If you're all okay with this, I kind of want to be completely silent for this next chapter. Again, I know that I want to talk about it gameplay-wise, but I just feel that any talking would kind of ruin it. I do not want to talk over the music that plays. It just would ruin everything. And not only that, but the actual moment of this chapter. It's powerful not just for the reasons that you think. It's not just because of what happened in the previous chapter. Not just because of that. Let's just say that, while not nearly as extreme, this next chapter is probably the closest Fire Emblem has ever got to a Special Ops The Line equivalent. Again, not nearly as extreme, but it really does... A lot of the chapters in Fire Emblem games, really, again, it kind of feels like it's trivializing war a bit. I mean, you get conversations talking about how, oh, war is horrible and stuff, but you're all like, oh, I need to slaughter as many enemies as possible for experience and stuff like that. This next chapter is probably one of the few times in the Fire Emblem series that you might actually reconsider that. And I don't want to spoil any more. Talking any more would sort of spoil it, but honestly, this chapter really makes you think about what you're doing, and again, I don't want to cheapen it at all. So, next chapter, I am probably gonna be completely silent, but I'll be back to my usual self by the chapter after, which, after this chapter, it's gonna be the side quest, and then after that side quest, the final chapter of Act 1 of the game. So, yeah, things of the first arc are really drawing to a close. So, I'll see you all next time, and believe me, it's going to be amazing.